Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I'm gonna call it a Haultorial where I'm gonna haul a bunch of makeup that I recently bought and put it on my face. I don't quite use all of it, nor is everything that's on my face right now new. I was going to call it like a full face to first impressions, but that would be what we call in the business a lie. So I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm just going to like do a tutorial on this look and like show y'all like the palettes and the lipstick and all of the things that I bought like as I go along. So it's gonna be really fun. I am very excited. I'm very happy with how this look turned out. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I've never filmed like a haul slash get ready with me all at once before, but like I've seen other people do it, so I think I'll be fine. So I always start with like the eye and brow area, and I actually got two eyeshadow palettes. The first one, I'm gonna try and use both in one form or another today. I got the Drench Cosmetics Jupiter Jungle palette, which I'm fucking pumped for. If you are a fan of the beauty crawl, which I participate in on Saturdays, our theme for last week was like doing stuff based off of Drench Cosmetics, and that crawl actually convinced me to get this palette because I'd been lusting after it for a while, and that, you know, made me like pull the trigger on it. It's so freaking beautiful. I'm not normally a neutral person, but these are like good Alex neutrals, you know? So I'm pretty excited to play with that. Then this is actually from one of the brands that was on my list of brands to try in 2021, and it's from Spoiled Cosmetics. It's their little Ouija planchette palette, which I'm super excited about because I have been trying to like collect some more spooky makeup and all of that. I was going to wait until I got my Scream palette from Wicked Sisters Cosmetics, but that's still probably gonna be like another week until I get that. So I'm just gonna do a whole video on that. I do want to do like a whole video on like each of these as well, but I'll let you know that that is coming. But I wanted to do like a whole play around with makeup with me. And this is what that looks like on the inside. The packaging is so cute. I love it. I kind of played around with swatching it a little bit yesterday. I didn't have a whole lot of time because yesterday was Ivy's spay day, so I spent like all day out with her and I was so tired by the end of it. But some of these shades look really beautiful. I really want to play with this one specifically because this is a fun little like duochrome that when I swatched it, it looked just gorgeous. Combination of these two on my eyes. My first thought that I had before like sitting down to film this is what if I didn't do my brows, because I have mentioned this before. I use eyeshadow in my brows. I use a shade from the Radioactive palette from Melt. I use Meltdown, so as you can see, that's very like, yeah. And Drench actually recently came out with some brow products, which they're all brow pencils and they're all in natural colors, so I don't think I'm gonna pick those up. But I've heard rumors of a clear brow gel coming, and that I think I'm gonna pick up. After I tried the unnatural colored brow look on myself to match my hair, I really can't go back. But a thought came to me. I had a thought of maybe using Jungle in my brows. It's a little bit more muted of a shade than what I normally go for with the shade from the Radioactive palette. But I kind of want to see. You know, I like having a good matte teal, and honestly, this is the shade that I was most excited about with this palette anyway. But that's just me. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. and J.Kissa J5 brush, which is basically what I use for my brows on a daily basis anyway. And we're gonna see. I also figured that since I recently dyed my hair, it's a little bit darker, so maybe that'll like, you know, make it look good. And this one definitely is a bit more like gray toned than the shade that I normally go for, but that's okay. So to kind of explain what I do with my brows, because normally I just come in with my brows done, I kind of try and outline them first. I very much like do the Insta brow sort of look. I feel like that's easiest with like just the tools that I have. But I outline it and then I kind of just fill it in, trying to make it like as dark as possible towards like the tail end of the brow. Okay, that's not a bad color at all. It's definitely like a more neutral version than like what I would normally go for, because normally I have like the big old bright eyebrows, but I don't think that this is a bad shade like at all. Yeah, that looks really good, and the shade's really easy to work with. I love Drench's shadow formula. Oh, that turned out really nice. That was super easy to work with, really easy to blend. Let me get the little tail front. Okay, yeah, that's super cute. Okay, that was super easy. I love that. let me do the other one. I'm gonna speed through this brow and not talk because I do have a hard time talking while doing brows. So since I already did the explanation for that one, I'm not gonna talk during that. Okay, so this brow doesn't look as good, but my bangs kind of cover it, so I'm not gonna be too worried. I think that this is actually a great sort of brow shade for what I go for, because it's like definitely more neutral than like my hair color. My hair color is a little bit more jewel tone. But I feel like especially like if I were to do, so my job is really chill and I can kind of basically wear whatever the fuck I want on a day-to-day basis because I work from home, and even when I have to do Zoom calls, unless it's with someone from outside the company, I don't have to tone down any of this shit. But on like professional times when I do have to tone down things a little bit, I think that this would actually be a really good shade because it's still like definitely in the green direction and it goes with my hair really well, but it doesn't like, you know, it's a little bit more neutral, a little less vibrant, so it still looks good, but without being quite as intense. So I quite like that. I see a little spot that I need to get. There we go. Okay, I temporarily lost my eyeshadow primer, but this isn't new. This is just my regular one. Let me see what the mirror on this is like. I'm just gonna apply it. It's my Nyx Hd Eyeshadow Primer. And I kind of want to figure out like what I actually really want to do with this look. I'm thinking something super dark and smoky, but that's just really what I've been into recently, you know? So I think I'm gonna use the matte from the Jupiter Jungle palette, because there's also, I'm noticing in retrospect that there is a little bit of like overlap. Like obviously like the Jupiter Jungle is more neutral, whereas this is more colorful. But like there's a matte white, matte black in both of them. This is like warm tones and greens, and this is also warm tones with a hint of green in there. Just one is like more neutral than the other. So what I'm thinking, so I've been watching a lot of Kitty Snacks videos recently. I love her content. I love the like sorts of grungy emo eye looks. I love her Dead Girl Glam videos. And so I've been inspired by a lot of the eyeshadow looks that she's been doing. So one of the ways I've been doing my makeup a lot recently is to do like a black smoky halo eye. And I think I can pull that off between these two palettes. Also, I did buy the little mint melt brush set from e.l.f. Cosmetics because I really like, I thought that this collection was so cute and I love the color mint. I just simply don't like it on myself. So I wanted to like get one of the little like mint bite-sized palettes, but I realized that would probably not look the best on me and I wouldn't get a lot of use out of it. So I bought this little brush set instead because I love e.l.f. brushes and these are so cute. And I can always use more eyeshadow brushes. So I'm going to use those today too, I think. Here's a crease brush I was going to use, and it's the Melton Beetlejuice crease brush because I love that one so much. So I'm going to use Placement as my transition shade, and I'm just going to take that all up in my crease. Oh fuck, that's pigmented. Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah, this is gonna blend so nicely, especially with that sort of duochrome shade on the lid. So what is this? Is this like a Haultorial? I think that's what I'm gonna title this video, a Haultorial, because it's not a full face to first impressions, because there's certain things like that I really don't buy new things of, like a lot of complexion products and stuff, unless something really catches my eye or I run out of something. I really don't buy new BB cream, new bronzer, or anything like that. So this technically isn't a full face at all. This blends so beautifully. I love Drench shadows for that because they're super pigmented, but I find that they're really, really easy to work with. So now I'm gonna take this brush from the Mint Melt set. These aren't labeled. I know some of e.l.f.'s brushes are labeled. This one is not, but this is just this little like dense crease brush. And I'm going to use New World. And I'm just gonna put that on like the inner and outer corner of my eyes. Place that on there. I'm gonna start on the outer corner because I feel like that's the easiest place to start. I feel like this brush is like, the handle is like denser than a lot of other e.l.f. brushes I've used that have like the same shape. That might just be a me thing though. Like I feel like I have to hold it up a lot closer, which I don't care as much for, but that might be me being picky. So I'm trying not to be like too picky about things, especially on a first impressions video. I love Drench's mattes so much. Is this palette maybe making me like neutrals? Let me just take the brush that I had Placement on and just use that to kind of blend out the edges a little bit. I find that it blended pretty decently already, but you know, I just really want to make sure that everything is blended as much as I want it to be. Then I'm going to use my e.l.f. glitter glue because I really, really want that duochrome from the Spoiled Lips Cosmetics palette to really, really show up on my eyes. There's also some pressed glitters in there that I feel like I want to play with. I don't like pressed glitters. I feel like they'll look really good, but I just don't like them on my eyes. So like, do I want to play with them at some point? I don't know. But I'm just taking it on this little brush, and I'm going to kind of windshield wiper it over the center of my lid. Okay, I feel like that's a lot on there, but I'll be fine. I'm gonna take this brush from the e.l.f. and J. Kissa set, the J1, and I'm going to just use that duochrome shade up top and pop that everywhere that I put the glitter glue down. So let's see how this applies. Okay, it swatched really nicely last night, so I wonder if it's maybe like a matter of just like building it up. That's such a pretty shade. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need to like blend it out on either side, but that is a very, very beautiful shade. I'm just gonna go back with the matte black from the Jupiter Jungle and kind of tap that on either corner of this. That way it blends super easily and it doesn't give like a harsh line. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do on my lower lash line, I kind of want to just like, you know, keep it smoky and all of that. So I'm gonna take this Melt Gel Liner in Onyx and I put that on my waterline before I put the shadow down. That way it gets like extra smoky, but the waterline isn't like too harsh. Here we go, I'm using the e.l.f. and J. Kissa J6. And it doesn't really matter if it smudges outside of the waterline. Okay, that like, it kind of looks a little shitty right now, but that's okay. Basically, I'm going to begin with more of New World and take that and kind of smudge it a little bit around the lower lash line. Oh, that's looking real good. This is exactly how I want it. It's like Bucky Barnes, but kind of like upgraded, you know? This is also just like very emo, but I've been kind of leaning into that makeup wise, just like generally this year, because that's honestly like how I really got into makeup, was being like an emo child and like going to Hot Topic and playing with all the colors and shit. And I'm just gonna blend that out with more placement using this brush from the Melt. But yeah, that's like kind of how I got into makeup, so I find like that kind of style very, very inspiring. Oh god, I accidentally flung that out there, but that's okay. Oh yeah, that is sexy. I love it. I'm just going to use once again that the blending brush to like just kind of make the outer corner like blown out but still even, kind of cover up the mistake that I made over there. Since I do want to use a shade like a shimmer from the Drench palette, I'm going to take Flash, or yeah, Flash. I couldn't tell if it was Flash or Flesh. I'm very glad that it's Flash because Flesh is a really weird word. And I'm gonna use that as my inner corner highlight because like I'm an emo, but I'm like trying to look like an awake emo, so I do an inner corner highlight for that reason. Okay, that's super cute. Why not? Why not just go ahead and highlight my brow bone with 79 Moons? I know that I've only used like the one shade from the Spoiled Lips Cosmetics, but holy fuck, that looks amazing on my lid. And besides, that one comes with like a little highlighter in the palette, which I might give a shot like on my cheeks. It might be a little too deep for me. So I'm gonna curl my lashes, same old lash curler from the Melt and Beetlejuice collection. I love that collection so much. I know that like a lot of folks like don't really use it anymore. That is more of like a collector's piece, but I do honestly use just about everything from that collection on a very regular basis in my life. So yeah. And then I'm going to use that mascara, which I do need to like get some more mascara because I feel like this one is definitely getting old. I also love like this sort of color combination like with my eye color. I feel like that works really, really well for me. Oh yeah, this is a good look. I'm very, very happy with this. I am just not in a contouring mood, so I think I'm just gonna do my tinted moisturizer and add some bronzer to that. I don't have a new tinted moisturizer or anything like that, so I'm just gonna use the NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil as always. But I did get a new sponge finally, another Real Techniques sponge. I love these sponges. I've used these since like the beginning of like me putting makeup on my face, like ever since I knew what beauty sponges were and I didn't just apply foundation with my hands. Yeah, so I already went through and like dampened that and all of that. Like when I dampened it, I realized like, holy shit, I should have done this so much sooner. Like when you get a new thing and you realize you should have replaced your old thing, like a lot sooner than you did because you forgot like how good the new thing feels. That was a moment I was having with this, and I'm having again right now, for being honest. You know, like when you get like a little crevice around your nose and you can't quite get into it? Oh well, I'll just deal with it. It doesn't look too bad unless I make that face, which I don't normally do, so I think I'll be fine. Yep, this is a good base. This is a good and easy base. And I also found that like the eyebrow stuff, maybe I just avoided it really well, but one of the issues that I do have with the Melt palette sometimes is that it's very pigmented and does kind of shift around if I do my base makeup afterwards, and so this seemed to stay in place pretty decently. Once again, no new bronzer, so I'm just using my Fenty Sunstalker bronzer in Shady Biz. Shady Biz, I feel like that sounded like I said shitty biz, but I'm using it on an e.l.f. blush brush that I really need to properly glue back on because it's definitely loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey. Who the fuck do I think I am? I feel properly orange. That's okay. I don't have a new cream blush, but I feel like the shade of a cream blush would look really good with this look. It's the e.l.f. Cheek Kiss liquid blush in Nude Flush. Love it. I just keep looking at this eye look and I'm so happy with it. Why do I always forget that I should put this directly onto my face? Because I always put other stuff onto like the back of my hand. Oh well. But I'm just going to blend it in this way with like the flat end of the sponge, because this one doesn't have to like get into crevices like my like tinted moisturizer does. And I'm gonna put that across my nose a little bit too. And if I kind of blend it into my bronzer too, I feel like that kind of just gives my face like a nice little sun-kissed flush instead of looking like sunburnt, like a lot of other blushes do for me. But the real question is this, the Spoiled Cosmetics comes with like this little highlighter at the bottom, which I swatched it last night and it does look really pretty, but it might be a little dark for me. So I'm just going to take it on my Real Technique setting brush, which is what I always use for highlighter. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to follow it up with like a lighter shade on top of it, because I think like this would work better for me in the summer, you know, because it doesn't look bad. I'm just a little pale, so like when I eventually like go outside more, I think this will look great. Like this is, you know, very natural. It's kind of like the texture of highlight that I normally go for. I'm just gonna add some of the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow highlighter on top of it, because that's my like extra good shade. So if I top it with that, then that'll help like even it out a little bit more. Okay, it is lip product time. I bought 4 Amore Satin Matte Lip creams from Milani. I already have one in the shade Loved, which I think is a very, very good dupe for Kat Von, for the KVD Vegan Beauty Kendo Vegan Makeup, you know, Lolita 2. And I bought these. So this one, I actually wore yesterday. I thought it would look awful on me, but it actually looks really good. This was also at the recommendation of Kitty Snack. This is in the shade 02 Luxe. This could look good with this, but since I wore this yesterday, I want to try some other shades, but this is what that looks like. I think it's really nice. I am still very much on the liquid lipstick train, and this is one of my favorite formulas. This was in the shade Velvet. This looks very different than how it looks on the Ulta website. So I thought that this was going to be more of like a pumpkin-y sort of shade. It's closer to the like original Lolita sort of shade. So I'm not mad at it because I do love those sorts of shades on me. I just expected this to be, it was described as like a burnt terracotta, and I don't quite see that. It's more like a rosy sort of shade, which once again, I love on me. I love like a good brownie rosy nude. Someone is on like a very fancy motorcycle with like a matching motorcycle outfit, all looking like a fucking Power Ranger out there. Wow. Anyway, so like I'm not mad at that shade. I think it'll look really good. It just wasn't what I anticipated. Then I got these 2 kind of darker shades. This one is one, I'm kind of between that one and that shade for this look. But this one is called Crimson, or Crimson Curse, which I know this is from like their Halloween collection like a couple years ago, and they're still selling it because this was half off. I have, once again, in my kind of leaning into my emo makeup again, I have been leaning back into darker lipsticks. I've been trying to find myself a new black liquid lipstick because mine is very old, very expired. So I've been waiting for the Black Moon liquid lipstick to come back in stock because I've heard amazing things about it, and Black Moon is on my list of brands to try in 2021. But that's just a side note. And this one is in the shade Sorceress, which I'm really excited about. I can't wait to find like the perfect look to wear this with. I'm just gonna do that over here. Yeah, that is such a lovely shade. It looks like a brighter version of Potion from ABH, which I also love, but I hate the ABH liquid lipstick formula. I stuck out the liquid lipstick formula so hard just because I loved that shade, but God, the formula is like so thick and awful, whereas this one is like a lot thinner. So you might have to do like a little bit more towards the center sometimes, but I find that it works really well. So as much as I want to wear the more purpley one, I think that Velvet is going to look better with this, just because I feel like it matches the crease shade better. I think if I had done like a more purpley sort of crease, then maybe that one would work, and I don't think it would look bad. I just think that this one would look better. So let's see how that looks. Also, these smell good. They're like very sweet smelling. Oh yeah, I love this shade. And this is nice too because I did enjoy the KVD Everlasting liquid lipstick formula, but I feel like this formula is so much better. Because like even after the rebrand, I don't care about buying them from now. I'll buy from them if like there's something that appeals to me. But I never like went back and repurchased some of my staple shades once like she no longer profited from the company. Just because I felt like I have cheaper liquid lipsticks that I like the formula of more. But I haven't found one that was like so close to Lolita, because I have like a couple of close-ish shades, and like these are definitely all in the same family, but I think you can tell that these are like, so this is Candy Bar from Fluide, and this is Sasha from Lime Crime. But I think you can tell that all of these look very, very different. I do want to see, this is the Milani Amore matte lip cream. I think they like reformulated it so that like this formula doesn't exist, at least not on the Ulta website anymore. But this is in the shade Love. This is my dupe for Lolita 2. And I like the formula of that too. I just think that this is a bit more thick than the one that I'm wearing. So I'm just comparing it. So that is Loved on the bottom, and that is what I'm wearing up top. So you can see that the one I'm wearing is a little bit more muted and Loved is a little bit warmer. So it does look like the difference between Lolita and Lolita 2 in my mind, or at least it's close enough. Now I'm going to just spray my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Not new, I just love it. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom out, and I have like a couple more things that I did buy. They're not like makeup products, so I'm not using them in this video. I just wanted to share them with y'all. So we'll do that, and then we're out of here. So I did buy like two more things. One, I got a replacement for my Lime Crime Unicorn Hair Color Conditioner. I got this on sale for the first time like several months ago, like back around Black Friday, and I really liked it. And I like it almost more than the Overtone because I feel like they have similar formulas, but this one smells better. And I feel like as far as protecting my color, this does about the same. And this one just smells like sweeter, whereas the Overtone one is more like tea tree minty, which I like. It's not a bad smell. I just like this one better. And this one is just in their universal shade. I feel like this does a very good job of like protecting my color. They don't have one in like a green shade. They have it in a blue, but I feel like it's too blue for my hair. If they had one in a more green shade, I would buy that. But unfortunately, they have like a limited number of shades of this. Then I bought two of the Skin Food Mint Sparkling Foot Peeling Socks. I love a good foot peel mask, and so does Case, and hopefully within the next like month or so, I might be able to wear sandals outside again. And I would rather go ahead and do this so that way they're all like peeled, and my feet are all like peeled and nice before all of that. So, because I don't want my feet to be peeling all over the streets, you know? So yeah, that's what I bought. That's kind of my Haultorial, whatever the hell this was. I hope you enjoyed it. I do want to do some separate videos using both the Drench palette and the Spoiled Lips palette. I really like how both performed, even though I did only use like the one shade on my lids from the Spoiled Lips palette. We're gonna see how that does like on its own. I've heard that the mattes in there are really good. I did swatch the matte swatch really well, so I'm excited to play with that. And I'm excited to play with the Drench palette on its own. So let me know what you think of this look of what I bought. If you have any of it, do you like it? What have you bought recently? All of the comment section prompts, you know? And I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me. And I will see you on my next one. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye!